Hello everyone, welcome to Pandorastarot, and of course welcome to your July readings. This is a general introduction, just like I did last month for all the signs. So, welcome each and every one of you. Please remember to check your rising and your moon sign, as I always say, as well as your sun sign, because that will give you more information of all of the energies that could be available to each and every one of you throughout the month. And of course, um, like I always say, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for spending your time with me, for sharing, liking, and subscribing. I love the community that has been, growing around this small deck of cards. So thank you so much, and let's move on to the readings. Okay, Taurus, let's start with your reading right here. I like to say I think it's gonna be a bit of a rough month, but it's not something new. It's not something that is gonna come up out of the blue. I think this is definitely something you have been dealing with. So, and I know in previous readings throughout this year I've been saying, oh, okay, so time to leave the past behind, time to change, time to move forward. And it feels like we're all having such a hard time doing that because it has been repeating itself for every sign month after month. And I just did Aries, and again, it's this thing of cutting loose from some ties, and this is it's almost in the same line. So let's get to the cards so I can explain what I actually see here. We have in the challenge position Death card in reverse. Death card, I always say, it does not mean death. Very rarely it does. Usually what happens with this card is that it signifies a transition, as actual death is, right? You transition from one state of being into another one. It's a period of transformation, and it's almost like a rebirth, and this is why it's taking so much effort, because I think we're being born again in a way, many of us. I'm not a Taurus, but like I said, it's something that has been shown across the readings. So death in reverse means that you're trying to hold back from actually changing. And I know that as an earth sign, or fellow earth sign, as I should say, change is difficult. It's difficult for everyone, but earth signs were so scared of things that change that we try not to, right? And being in the reverse, it means that you're holding back. You're trying with all your might not to let this change happen, and it does come up in the challenge position. So it is something you're dealing with. It could be, this is for very specific people, because actually I realize I know a Taurus that unfortunately has been dealing with a death in the family in the past month of June. So if this is going on for you, I think you're refusing to come to terms with this. I know this is a very touchy subject. I don't want to get too dramatic with all of this, but if it happens to you, do please try to work through it. Denying it doesn't mean that it didn't happen, okay? And it will not make you feel better. We need to deal with things as they happen. You can't, if you push them forward, even if it is change and not just that, if you keep pushing them forward, then it gets worse and worse, right? So let the change, whether it is an actual death or not, happen, okay? Because it will relieve you. Believe me, it will. So in the center of the reading, we have the Five of Wands, in reverse. So again, another reverse card, and definitely this is a connection here. Five of Wands in reverse talks about working with a group of people that were just not, it was a constant fight, fighting all time, and it could be working in a work environment, or it could be in an everyday life family environment, it could be with your friends, but definitely this is a group where there's a lot of ego, and this is a group dynamic that is no longer working. Okay, this is just a group of people fighting. It could be, like I said, colleagues at work, it could be with your group of friends, it could be with a side of your family, but this is just not healthy anymore. And this is why I say this. When we have the card in the upright position, yes, it's a group of people with a lot of ego, but they're still trying to build something together, build a relationship together. In the reverse position, it just means pure fights for the sake of fighting, for the sake of, being the one who's right. We're not building a relationship when we get to this point. And I believe this is what you have been so much trying not to let go. You realize this situation has no more give, but you just can't let go. Okay, and that's the challenge for this month of July. In the position of the things you won't be able to change, you have the Seven of Wands, another wand card, and this is a card that talks about stress. Okay, this is someone who is fighting on many fronts at the same time. This could be even you fighting with each and every one of these people from this group. So, on one hand, the tarot is saying, okay, yes, there will be stress in this month, and there will be some kind of struggle. You won't be able to avoid this. And I also feel like this Seven of Wands, this position of the things you won't be able to change, is really connected with the Eight of Cups that we have in the help position. Let me explain this card and I'll say why it's really connected. You have the Eight of Cups that represents walking away from a situation that no longer serves you. This is a situation that has been exhausting on an emotional level. Okay, this is a situation where you feel like you have given everything that you could, and you just need to finally let go. Let go, walk away, allow the transition to happen. And I get this intense feeling from this reading that these people will fight you against it. Like, you will actually have fights. This is the connection. You will actually have fights and discussions with the members of this group that will try you to even make you feel guilty for leaving, or try to convince you to go, but not in a positive way, like through an actual discussion. An actual fight. So it won't be just an easy exchange of opinions. I would like to say this. So you need to really fight your way out of this situation. I do want to say this. By the end of the month, we have the Hermit. Hermit is a card of a major arcana, just like Death card. And it's interesting because it's the number 9, and we have 7, 8, and 9. So it is a progression here. The Hermit is a card that talks about taking some time out to meditate, to spend in solitude, to take this light that the Hermit is holding, to take it to the dark places in ourselves, and to be able to shine a light on those dark places so we can actually make peace with the things that we don't like about ourselves. And I think you're going to take this entire experience when you're able to extract yourself from the situation, and you're going to really spend some time in solitude to meditate on this, to try to the Hermit is a wise man. So, and he's a wise man because he has taken the situations in his life, the good and the bad, and has turned it into into learned lessons, into wisdom. And you're going to do that. By the end of the month, you're going to start that period. Okay, so I think it could be a really hectic month up until almost the end, when you finally are able to walk away And then, especially because the 8 is, the month of August is the month 8, and we're doing this for the month of July. So it could be that there's most of the fighting goes on in July, and closer to the end of July, closer to August, you're finally able to walk away and retreat into solitude to really ponder and meditate and try to get some wisdom out of the situation. Don't leave this situation with just the feeling of, oh, these are bad people. There's a reason why you experience this situation, Taurus, in your life, so try to find the whys. Okay, so you can turn the negative into a positive, at least in the long run. So I hope this is helpful, Taurus. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'll see you next month.